Café de Plus, which was a wonderful bar run by a great guy called Jan Stelma, who was a very creatively and politically active guy in Groningen, and still is, I think. And also had a lot of music in his bar, and I lived above the bar for a while and played music and sometimes worked in the bar. And it was a really great time, about which I don't remember very much.
Because of the late hours.
Yeah.
And is it for you, how did you end up in Groningen?
I was actually living in Utrecht for a while, and I had a nice time in Utrecht, but I went to Groningen to do a show one night in this club, and I remember arriving in Groningen, and it was snowing, and it just seemed like the most beautiful city in the world to me when I arrived there in the snow. And I'd never seen anything quite like it, and I immediately loved it and stayed.
And how did you arrive? By train or?
Train, yeah.
I have lived in Groningen for 6 or 7 years, so I know the scenery, and it's nice, yeah, with the canal.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yeah. I would like to go back to the beginning. Well, you grew up in Newbridge.
Yeah.
What was it like if you look back on it now?
It's beautiful. I mean, it was a very small town, very neighbourly town, very community-oriented town. My father died when I was very young, so my mother needed a lot of help because she had to work. She had to run a little grocery shop. And a lot of different people came and helped out, and it was a feeling of being raised by a community as well as by your own mother. It was really, it was a very ordinary kind of existence, really, you know, as it's the same as it was for every other kid growing up in Newbridge. There was nothing really spectacularly different about it, apart possibly from that one sort of thing, the absence of our father. But that was the only thing that made it any different. Everything else about it was quite beautiful, actually.
But how come he passed away so early?
He died very tragically at the age of 41. He went into hospital with a badly infected ingrown toenail. And it was very badly infected, and they decided to give him a little anaesthetic to work on the toe, and he went to sleep and he never woke up. It was 1956.
Probably, yeah.
These things happened.
And well, you have an older brother.
I have 2 older brothers.
2 older
and
brothers.
3 older sisters.
Or 3 older sisters. So you're the youngest.
I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
Some baby.
Okay. And it must be really, well, apart from your dad not being around, must be, well, for you it was, well, the youngest. I think you had
great.
4 or 5 brothers.
5 older people, older siblings.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, I was spoiled. I was very spoiled. I didn't... I got away with a lot of things.
Name me one, for example.
It's hard to sort of just name specific things, but my mother found it impossible to be tough with me. She just couldn't, because I was like to her the little delicate baby. So I would do things and she just would find it physically impossible to slap me or even really to give out to me. She just couldn't do it. Which had a good side and a bad side.
Good side?
The good side is that you feel kind of in some strange way special. The bad side is that you never really learn about boundaries. And as you get older, that gets a little bit difficult. Because if you get your own way with someone who spoils you as a child, then life isn't like your mother. And, you know, so you go into school and you don't want to do what the teacher says. And she doesn't say, okay, well, don't do it then. It doesn't work out like that.
Right.